Namaste students, welcome to our today's session, Information Technology, Part B, Chapter 3, Digital Documentation, Part 3. So already we have seen Part 1 and Part 2. So in Part 2, I've given you the recap of session Part 1. So today we are going to start with Part 3. So before we start with the topics of Part 3, let us have a short recap of the previous session. Previous session we saw editing a document, formatting a document, paragraph alignments, text alignments, changing text case to uppercase and lower cases, selecting a text, selecting the entire document. So within formatting we saw many features, editing also we saw few features. So paragraph alignments, text alignments, etc. we saw in our previous session. Go through the previous video. So today we are going to begin with the later part of the chapter. This is part 3. Few more features of LibreOffice Writer we are going to see today. Using the bullets and numbering. So in previous session we also saw formatting a document, formatting text, changing the text color, highlighting a text, what all features can be applied for a text and for a document we saw in the previous session. So today, continuation of the previous session, we are going to see few more features of formatting a document using the bullets and numbering. What do you mean by bullets and numbering? See, suppose you wanted to write, your class teacher asks you to write the name list of your class students. What will you do? You will first start writing the number 1 and then write the first name. Then number 2 and then write the second name. So, when you wanted to make a list, you would prefer either numbering or any symbols. Instead of numbering, you can also use symbols, any form of symbols, that is called bullets. Is it clear, children? So, in order to make a list, you can use either bullets or numbering. So, there are features to make text in form of list with the bullets and numbering. So you can assign the bullets or numbering to the list items in the document by using the options on the bullets and numbering toolbar. You also have toolbar. So in the previous session I've told you to write the menus and its submenus and what are the options available in the formatting toolbar, what are the tools available in the toolbars. So hope you all would have done the homework too. So with that toolbars and the tools, you have the list of tools now. So from there you find out the toolbar called bullets and numbering. You can also create a nested list by using the buttons on the bullets and numbering toolbar. See, as I told you, you can create bullets and numbering. So clicking on the bullets and numbering icon on the toolbar, you can just either if you wanted to create a list with the numbers, you can create it using numbering format, or if you want it in bullets, means symbols, you can create it in the form of bullets. Then what is meant by nested list? Nested list means what? A list within a list is called a nested list. For example, number 1. So within number 1, if you have anything as subtopics, submenus to be done, that also can be given as. So under 1 you can have A, B, C, D, E. Question number 1 can have choices of A, B, C, D, E. Question number 2 can have choices of A, B, C, D, E. So in that case, within 1 and 2 list, you have got a nested list, another list inside a list. Okay, so that is called nested list. So the figure 3.23 and 3.24, which I am going to show you now, will give you a clear picture of using bullets and numbering. Figure 3.23 bullets. How to use bullets? When you click on the bullets and numbering icon on the toolbar, you will get bullets, a table, a box, dialog box, and numbering, another dialog box. Which kind of bullets or which kind of numbering you wanted to select, you can click on that particular option and click OK, so that particular format of list will be generated. Any doubts, children? This is for nested list. This is the bullets and numbering dialog box. So you have got numbers. You can even mention, you can even start, see it doesn't, see you need not start only with one. You can even start with any number. If you wanted to start the list with any in between numbers like 5 or 6 or 10 or anything, you can even give the starting point, you can mention. So that is what is given here. Number in the format of 1 2 3. You can even have Roman letters as 1 2 3. So here it is given as number 1 2 3. And where it has to start, it has to start from 1. In case if you wanted to start with any other numbers, if you wanted to start with any number as 4, you can mention as 4 from the drop down arrows are given. From the drop down menus, you can choose any number you wanted to prefer. Any doubts? And what are the symbols you need after and before? You need either a dot after the number, or you can have brackets after a number, so that you can mention here in the after position. Even before you can have bracket or any symbols. So this is bullets and numbering. Hope you understood, children. Next, assigning color, border and background. To assign background color to the paragraph, first select the paragraph. First of all, you have to select the paragraph. Assigning color, border and background is also another feature of LibreOffice. So this also comes under formatting the document or formatting the text. So your text may be in the form of a paragraph also. So in that case, how can you assign background colors or borders for your paragraphs? To assign background color to the paragraph, first select the paragraph. So we have seen selection criteria, how to select the text, how to select a paragraph, how to select a sentence in the previous session. Am I right, children? So you know to select the paragraph. Select the paragraph and select format menu paragraph option. From the format menu, choose paragraph, area, color, then select the color. So it has been given step by step. First choose format menu, then paragraph option, then area. With the sub menus, choose color, then select the color from the color palette. To assign the border to the paragraph, select the paragraph, then select format, paragraph, borders. So in order to give colors, you choose area and color. In order to use borders, the same format menu with the paragraph option, choose borders and then select the line style. How would you like to have the border style? You may have a thin line border, or you may wanted to have a thick line border, or any designs also can be made as a border. So which type of line style which has been already built in the particular app, you can use it. The width of the line, so you're going to give border as a line, isn't it? So you can also mention the width, the thickness, as I told you, the width of the line, and also the borders can carry colors. Okay, so all these options can be taken up from which menu? the format menu. So for assigning color, border and background, format menu is very important. Which menu? Format menu. Keep that in mind. These are the key points you have to notice, so which will be helpful for your exams. Since this entire subject is your practical based, you should be thorough with the menus and the toolbars and the options to be used. So that is why I last week I gave you the homework of writing the menus and options and toolbars available in the LibreOffice Writer. Understood, students? So now we'll continue. After selecting the border style or the paragraph colors, just click on OK button. Next comes page formatting. How to format the page? See, so far we saw formatting a text, formatting the text in the document. Now we are going to see how to format the entire page, entire document. Setting up basic page layout using styles. So under page formatting, first you have to select the layout of the page. What styles of layout are available? Page styles define the basic layout of all pages in the document. It includes, so what are the options available in page styles are nothing but page size, margins, header, footer, border and background, number of columns, etc. So these are the options available for formatting the page layout. So the default style is assigned to the new document by default. So any document when you open it as a new, when you go for file and new, the default page style will be applied onto it. So manually you wanted to change the page layout as per your wish. Unless and otherwise you change it, the default formatting page style will be set up in any new window of LibreOffice Writer. It appears on the taskbar of the Writer window. To change the various parameters of the page, just click on the default style on the taskbar or click on the format and page. You can click on the format menu as I told you. You can click on the format menu. So for all the formatting features, it is well and good to use the format menu so that it is easy for you to find out many options. As many options are available in the format menu. So click on the format menu and page option for finding out page layouts for your document. So this figure 3.26 shows you the page style. The default style is A4 sheet, width of the page, height of the page, format of the page, width of the page, height of the page, and the orientation as portrait or landscape. Hope you know what is a portrait and landscape. Till 8th standard you would have learned Word, MS Word. The same options are available in LibreOffice Writer also. And the margins, left, right, top, bottom margins, and the paper size, paper tray, how it has to be placed. This is the printer settings. Page numbers, if you wanted to display the page numbers also you can use. So all these options are available in the page style dialog box. Next, formatting a page is inserting a page break. So in multi-page documents, the text follows from one page to the next as you add information. In certain cases, we may require to break the current page and move the next heading or next chapter to the new page in the same document. See, when you type a text in the document, only when you come to the end of the page, the text will be wrapped over to the next page automatically. Suppose, in case in the middle of the page, if you wanted to break the page and take over few of the topics to the next page, that is nothing but you are going to insert a page break. You are going to break the page and move over to the next page. So in such cases, we have to break the page forcefully and take the cursor to the next page to insert the new heading. As I told you, in between you wanted to break up and go over to the next page. You wanted to place the cursor to the beginning of the next page. In that case, that is called page break. So to break the current page and start the new page, select the insert page break. I'm sorry, here the spelling has been given wrong. Kindly make the changes. INSERT. Insert page break from the menu bar, or use the keyboard command Control plus return. Control plus return key would give you a break in your page and will make the cursor to move over to the next page. So to break the page and go to the next page, what is the shortcut key used? Tell me children. Control plus return. And what is the menu used? Insert menu, page break option. So far previous features we saw format menus. Now since we are going to insert a page break, we are using inserting menu. So that is why these formatting, inserting, editing, these are the tools or menus available in the writer, right, isn't it? So these technical terms are very important, so that with these terms you can identify which menu or options these features are available. So the page break can also be narrowed down to the line and column by using insert manual break. So this is other option given, insert manual break. Any doubts? This is an insert break dialog box, manual break. So you can give the page break and the style. You can mention whether you wanted to break the line or whether you wanted to break the column or whether entire page has to be broken up. You can mention and click on OK. Next, creating header or footer. See, usually when you start writing in your classwork, what will you do first? You will start writing the heading, isn't it? First you will start writing the date, and at the end what will you do? You will write page numbers. So you can use header. Heading is called a header. It may be a date or a title, or even a page number also can be used as a header. Similarly, footer. So a document where the heading will be at the topmost part. So in a document, in a page, the topmost part you write the heading, isn't it? So that part is called the header. And the bottommost part, where you have the bottom margin left, that part is called footer. So in a document in LibreOffice, you have header and footer options. So a document can hold header. It can take up date or any headings or any page numbers can be used as headers. Similarly, footer can also be used with page numbers or any options you need. In a multi-page document, it becomes necessary to add a header and footer to document for more readability. Headers appear at the top of every page, footers appear at the bottom of a page. As I told you, headers and footers are specified by page styles. Therefore, all the pages with the same page style will display the same header and footer. How to insert the header in the document? Select insert menu. So you're inserting header, right? So remember, inserting header. So insert menu. So these are the key points you have to note down. Inserting the header requires insert menu, header and footer option. From header and footer you have to choose. If you want header, click on header, or if you want footer, you can click on footer. You can give the document name or chapter name in the header section and page number in the footer section as you wish. You may give a document name. Usually headings will hold only topics or headings, right? So you can give anything which you wanted to have as a header. You can give it in the header section, and footer can take up probably almost we use footers as page numbers. So you can choose page numbers as footer. To enter page numbers in the footer section, place a cursor in the footer section and select insert page number. So for giving page number as a footer, so in the footer, after giving the insert, after selecting insert header footer and footer option, in the footer place the cursor. Now again click insert page number so that your footer will take up page numbers automatically. Now defining borders and backgrounds. Assigning borders and backgrounds to important paragraphs that we have seen already. To a paragraph, how to assign backgrounds and borders and frames. It gives attractive look to the document. For example, by assigning borders or backgrounds, a reader is able to differentiate the points to remember from the regular text. You can highlight that text in a paragraph by using backgrounds and borders. How to add a border? It is possible to apply the border either to individual characters or to the selected text. The process is similar in each case. The preset shows a preview of the selected border. So it shows here page style, default style. Already I have shown you this page style dialog box when we saw adding background colors and borders to the paragraphs. The same diagram. So this is adding background color for a paragraph. This also I have told you already. You can also choose many options available here. See page style, default style. Here you have many options. Color. You can choose a background color in the area tab. See, look at here. You have got area tab. From the area tab, from color, you can choose a color option. Gradient will take up few more designs of colors. Bitmap will give you other option of coloring. Patterns will give you tiled patterns of colors. Hatch will give you another design pattern of colors. So you can choose. So you have to select the area, the paragraph, and from the page style default style dialog box, you can choose area tab. From there, choose the colors and options required. Inserting images, shapes, special characters in a document. So we can also insert images, shapes, special characters in a document. Special characters are nothing but few characters which are not available on the keyboard. You can use it from the menus available, options available in the writer. So we can insert images. So for that, first of all, we have to store the images in our PC or especially desktop or a laptop. You are supposed to store the images which you wanted to insert in as a document, and then only you can insert images. So the regular text in the document can be made attractive and more informative by inserting the various elements as listed below. You can also explore more tools to be inserted in the document. Inserting image. If you wish to include any picture or image in your document, the image file should be stored in your hard disk or external storage such as pen drive. To insert an image in your document, position the cursor where you want to insert the file. Select Insert Image option. Select Insert Image option. Another alternative is just click on the Insert Image icon located below the formatting toolbar. You also have icons for inserting images, or you can go for Insert Picture option from the Insert menu. So from that, when you choose the Insert Picture icon in the formatting toolbar, you will get the file manager where you have stored the picture will be opened. Select the image which you wanted to insert and click on the open, and just double click on the image file so that the image will get inserted in the document. So here it is given clearly, Insert menu, Image option. Inserting special characters. You have also got Insert Special Character option from the Insert menu, so that you can take special characters such as it is given here, these kind of characters which cannot be typed by using the keyboard can be used from the Insert menu. See, the number of special characters are available. So any special character can be used using the Insert menu. This figure shows you some list of special characters. Inserting shapes. Suppose you are using any mathematical document, you would like to insert shapes, square or circle or arrow marks, line or triangle, any kind of shapes. So in that case, you can use the same Insert menu and choose any kind of shape as you wanted. Few examples are lines, arrows, symbols, stars, callouts, flowcharts. For this, keep the cursor in the place you wish to add the shape and select the Insert and Shape option. So as I told you, the same Insert menu, you can choose it for inserting images, insert special character, insert shape. Need out, children? So inserting special characters we saw, inserting shapes also we saw. Dividing the document page into columns. Suppose you are writing, see now the same page which I am showing you it's a normal page where the single line paragraphs are given. You can also make, have you seen newspapers, even many English newspapers or even Tamil newspapers, we have got text written in columns, isn't it? So the newspapers, each part of the paper will take up few other topics related. So not the entire page will be filled up with a single line. There are page breaks using columns. So how to divide the document page into columns is given here. To divide the page into columns, you are supposed to select Format menu, Column option. A column dialog box as shown in figure will appear. Enter the number of columns. How many number of columns you wanted the document to get ready with have to be placed, given. So here columns, how many number of columns you need has to be mentioned. So that many number of columns in form of columns. The text will be divided into columns in the page. You can specify the width and spacing of the column, how it has to be separated, you can even mention. So these pictures will give you a clear idea about dividing the document page into columns. Any doubts, children? Next, formatting the shape or image. So once you have inserted shapes in the document, you may need to format that shape even. Suppose you have inserted a circle. You may have to give border for the circle or any other color you wanted to apply for the circle, or even you wanted to insert any text inside the circle. Anything can be done using this formatting option. User can format the shape or image inserted in the document. For instance, user can change its size, color, add borders, change its position, etc. First, select the shape or image by clicking on it. Then make use of the toolbar to perform the required changes. You are supposed to use the toolbar to format the shape. Okay. Then creating and managing tables. As you all know, a table is another representation of a text. So a table consists of rows and columns. You can display data can be represented in the form of a table also. Consider an example of representing your school timetable, your mark sheet, your teachers teaching various subjects. To represent such data, you have to create a table. Suppose your class teacher tells you to prepare a mark sheet of your class, then definitely you have to write it in the form of a table, isn't it? So that you all know very well. Even you have done activities also creating tables in MS Word. Because last year you would have done activities of creating tables in MS Word. The same procedure has to be followed here too. So the simplest way to create a table is click the table icon on the standard toolbar. It's not the formatting toolbar now. You are going to choose standard toolbar table icon. On the drop down graphic, choose the size of the table. You have to choose the size of the table. You should mention the number of rows and number of columns to be inserted in the table. Table icon will also display the graphic. Another way to create a table is by using the table dialog box. You can use the table dialog box. Position the cursor where you want to insert the table. Then select Insert Menu Table option. Either choose table icon from the standard toolbar, or you can choose Insert Menu Table option, and from the table dialog box you can give the number of rows and columns as many you need and click on the OK button. Or otherwise, there is a keyboard shortcut to insert tables, Ctrl plus F12. Remember, Ctrl plus F12 is to insert table in your document. So once you have created a table, it is not that is a final table you have created. You can also even make changes in your table by exploring more features of it. You can even add a cell. Suppose you by mistake you would have created 2 rows and 3 columns. You wanted to add one more row, you can add another row. Additionally, you can add an other row. Insert row options are available, or columns can be inserted, cells can be inserted. So all these features are also available. With exploring more features, you can use a table appropriately. So this is a creating table. Clicking on the table icon, you will get these options. From here you can choose a number of columns and rows you need. Otherwise, go to insert menu table option. If you select, you are supposed to use number of columns, number of rows to be mentioned, what is the table name have to be given, what is the heading for the table, what is the border have to be given, and click on insert menu so that the table will get inserted. Any doubts, children? Next, inserting rows and columns. Where you wanted to insert the row or column, place the cursor there and click on the rows above or rows below icons in the table toolbar to insert one row above or below the selected one. So you are supposed to choose table toolbar, click on rows above or rows below option so that one row above or one row below will be created. Similarly, for columns, even columns left. For columns, you have to choose left because this is writing vertically is columns, horizontal is row. A table consists of rows and columns. So, horizontal way of writing we call it as a row. Vertical way of writing we call it as a column. So, when you wanted to insert a column, place a cursor. Suppose you wanted to insert a column here, you have to place a cursor here. Columns left will include a column left, columns right will include a column right. Clear, children? Deleting rows and columns. You can also delete the rows and columns if you don't need it. For that, right click and choose delete rows, delete option, rows or delete columns, delete rows or delete columns option, or press Alt plus delete on the keyboard and use the arrow keys to delete rows or columns. You can either press right click and choose delete rows or delete columns. Press Alt plus delete key on the keyboard. Before doing that, you have to click on the rows or columns which you wanted to delete. Splitting and merging tables. How can you split a table? To split a table, split means dividing. Place the cursor in a cell that will be in the top row of the second table. After the split, choose Table, Split Table from the menu bar. A split table dialog box opens. You can select heading or an alternative formatting for the heading. The top rows of the new table, click OK. The table is then split into two tables separated by a blank paragraph. To merge two tables, you can divide the tables into two, otherwise you can combine two tables. Delete the blank paragraph between the tables. You must use the delete key or not the backspace key. Do not use backspace key, use only delete key. Select any cell in one of the tables. You have to select any cell in any one of the table. Right click and choose merge tables. You have to right click and choose merge tables, the context menu. You can also use merge table from the menu bar so that the two tables which you have selected will get merged, means combined. Deleting a table. To delete a table, click anywhere in the table, press the delete key or the backspace key, or delete table from the menu bar. Copying a table, click anywhere on the table. From the menu bar, choose table, select table. Press Ctrl plus C to copy. Move the cursor to the position. Copying text. Copying and pasting text, right? Similarly, you have to select the table. Use the Ctrl plus C for copying the table. Place a cursor where you wanted to move the table so that press Ctrl plus V or click on the paste icon on the standard toolbar to paste the table. Moving a table, as we saw moving the text, the same thing. Ctrl plus X for cutting and Ctrl plus V for pasting the table. Before that, you have to click anywhere in the table and select the table. Printing a document. To quickly print the document without any option, click the print icon. You have got print icon so that the entire document will be sent to the default printer. Document will be sent to the printer. You can view the printer options Before you take a printout, you can go for a preview of your document. If you want to make any changes, you can make it again. Indentations can be checked, the spaces, borders, page setups, everything can be checked, previewed, then go for printing. Controlling printing. To print the document with certain options, use a print dialog box. If you press Ctrl plus P, it will show you a print dialog box. This is a print dialog box. From the print dialog box, you can choose options as per your requirement. They are printer, properties, print range, copies and options. See here, you have got the type of printer. So which type of printer you have installed with your device, type of printer. And in the properties option, you can choose what are the either you wanted to print it in the form of portrait or in the landscape, or any page setups. Printer options can be used with the properties. You can give the number of copies. If you click on a small triangle, the selected options will work for the current document only. So when you use these options in the print dialog box, this will be applied for the current document only, not for all the documents. So if you click on a small triangle, a list of names of printers, only those which are installed on your computer will appear in line with the name. You can select the printer which you want. That is what I told you here. It will show you the printers which are attached to your device. So, and also it gives you whether you wanted to print all the pages of the document, or even you can mention the number of pages, which page. Suppose page number 10 alone has to be printed, give page 10, so that 10 page alone will be printed. So there are many options. If you have systems at home, and if you have the LibreOffice Writer, or even you can use another alternative software called OpenOffice. It is similar to LibreOffice. Both we will be using in Ubuntu operating system. If you have such softwares, you can practice and go through. So we have come to the end of the session, children. So one more topic is left out, is mail merge, that we'll see in the next session. With the next session we are going to finish off chapter 3. So mail merge will be the last topic of the chapter. So other all topics we have covered. So kindly go through these 3 videos. This is part 3. Go through part 1 and part 2, and this is part 3. Part 4 will be mail merge. 4 parts for chapter 3, which is a very important chapter, because you have got practical sessions also. So thank you, children. We'll meet in the next session.